I woke up one day and I was just like, I want to be a stand-up. I loved it, from Eddie Murphy to Chris Rock to Dave Chappelle.
How did your family take you wanting to get into comedy?
I reckon though, if my dad was around, I don't think I'd be doing stand-up.
Hi guys, and welcome back to yet another episode of The Conversations You Keep. I'm joined by none other than Babatunde, comedian, actor, entrepreneur. I'm so happy to have him on the platform. Babatunde, welcome, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Honestly.
You are more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Do you mind just to briefly introduce yourself and just let our viewers at home know who you are and a little bit more about what it is that you do?
Absolutely. So my name is Babatunde Aleshe. I am a comedian, stand-up comedian, actor, and a writer. Husband and father to one son right now.
Wow.
Who's about to go to bed because he's been very, very naughty. So.
Bedtime.
You know what I mean? Bedtime. Now he's
See, you are an entrepreneur. Look at all the things that you just reeled off to me. Fatherhood, husband, career.
Yeah, the funniest thing is I would say, fair enough, I would put myself as entrepreneur in a little way, but my wife, she's definitely entrepreneur. She's really trying to, catch up. And she's overtaken me right now. She's got her own travel business, and I can't lend her a $5 no more. She's got her own money. Hey, she's gonna have to start lending me some money soon, So
you got to step up now.
I gotta get more gigs. Trust me. So yeah.
I love that. Power couples, man. That's what I love to see. Now, look, Babatunde, you've done so many amazing things, and your career has gone from, Eastenders right up to recently being on Celebrity Gogglebox. So I just kind of want to know a little bit about that, because for any aspiring actors, actresses that are watching, I just want to go back to the beginning, right to the start. When did you know that being in the spotlight, doing acting and being in entertainment was actually something you wanted to do?
For me, when it really hit home that this is something I want to, pursue as a career, I was 16 years old. I was already studying performing arts because obviously acting was something that I liked. But I was 16 and I was in college, and I always say this to anyone who asks me, but it's honestly like I woke up one day and I was just like, I want to be a stand-up. And I couldn't explain it. I'd watched stand-up all my life. I loved it, from Eddie Murphy to Chris Rock to Dave Chappelle. And there was just one day while I was 16, I woke up and I was just like, I know exactly what I need to do, and that is stand-up comedy. And I need to find a way to get on stage. And I did. And yeah, the rest is, history really. So yeah, 16.
Do you know what? Even with you saying that, is just great that you kind of woken up one day and it's like, this is what I want to do, and you've pursued it. How did your family take you wanting to get into comedy?
You know what? A lot of people think that, obviously, because I'm Nige and how African parents are, my mum was absolutely fine with it. She was she supported me from the beginning. I reckon, because it's just been, me, my mum and my sister. She's always been a, single mum. I reckon though, if my dad was around, I don't think I'd be doing that. Because my dad, he had degrees in engineering and all this. He had master degrees and all that. And then obviously, that the whole split between him and my mum happened. And I just know the way my dad, was, he definitely would have been like, no, that's not a career. You need to do either what I do or become a doctor or a lawyer, something like that.
Yes. It's kind of like, what's the backup plan? What's the backup?
Yeah. And to be fair, I think that's good. But no, I'm glad, man. I'm glad how it worked out.
Yeah, of course. And you know what? When did you know you was funny? Because listen, that's your career, right?
Yeah. I always knew that I was funny from really, really early. really, really early when I was young. Always the class clown, always making people laugh and stuff like that. So yeah, I caught on very quick that hey, I've got a gift here. But yeah, trust me, just when I was 16, like that passion, and it's something that I couldn't explain and I couldn't escape it. It was just like,
yeah,
I need to get on stage and try this. I need to try this. And as much as I had watched stand up, I had I didn't have a first clue about how to structure a 5 minute set, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I didn't know nothing, so I kind of just I was thrown into the lions den in a way. But luckily for me, we had the black circuit over here. We had that over here, and Kojo took me under his wing from the right from the very start, and yeah, helped me become the comedian I am today.
And it just goes to show how vital it is to even have that support. I mean, comedy is not easy. It might look easy, but it is not easy, right?
No.
So how do you deal with those moments where, let's say, I don't know, you're taking a joke, you're telling a joke, sorry, and maybe you don't get that reception that you really thought you were going to get. Yeah. What is that like? What's going through your head? Tell us about that.
Well, at the beginning, when I wouldn't get that reaction, it's panic and go to the next joke. And then, inexperienced, you rush your set and then, everything goes bad. Now, I've started to come to the understanding of I don't need to necessarily make the crowd laugh. So long as I speak my truth, if they laugh, they laugh. Obviously, that's the aim of the game for, to have the whole crowd busting up. But at the same time, so long as I really get my truth out, because that's where comedy comes from. But you learn this as because I've been in stand-up for like, 17 years now. So you learn as you go along that sometimes just forget the crowd. Just speak your truth, get it out. The funny will come as you do other gigs and you start to learn where to tweak certain jokes. But yeah, at the beginning, oh my God, panic. There's pure panic. And just speed through my set and just mess up the whole thing.
So look, you've done comedy, you're an actor as well. You was on Eastenders. I mean, I know this is going back some time. Just a little bit of an insight on lights, camera, action. What is that experience like? Learning lines and having to remember. Yeah, what's that like? How do you get prepared for that?
It's quite hard. I'm not gonna lie. For me, it was more of a thing of it's a new craft. It's not stand up. I can't look for a reaction immediately because everything gets edited and you don't know how it's gonna turn out. So yeah, learning lines is quite easy for me. I've always found that easy, but just adapting to the whole thing of hey, look at this camera and lighting's here, and to watch there's certain aspects of it that you have to understand, that where you're being filmed, like how big's the frame, is it just here or your whole body, and yeah, it's a lot. I'm still getting used to that. I'm still getting used to that. Yeah.
So a lot of elements to kind of take in and grasp. And you said that you studied performing arts, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So did you find that with studying the performing arts that actually prepared you? So for anybody that's thinking, I want to be on the stage, I'm going to go to college and do performing arts or uni, does that actually really prepare you?
It does. There's some, luckily for me, I got into a drama school as well, right after college. So I went to Central School of Speech and Drama, which is like one of the biggest theatre schools in the world. So I was lucky to get in. I was very, very lucky to get into that school. So for 3 years, I studied acting for stage and screen. And so within that course, they kind of prepared us in terms of, knowing your frames, knowing where the lighting is, knowing all the different aspects of it. And yeah, that definitely helped me, because without that, I would have just been a novice, on my first set when I did Law and Order. And then obviously eventually going into EastEnders, I would have been a novice. But luckily for me, I had some idea of what to expect, but it's still like doing it, in school is one thing, but then doing the actual real thing, and especially on a big program like EastEnders, The minute I got the call and I was just like, hey, you know, you've got those 4 episodes in Eastenders, I was nervous. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is like one of the, like, this is a staple program within this country.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was so nervous.
I guess you have to have your woosah moment, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But luckily for me, the guys that I was doing the scenes with, they were just absolutely fantastic. So yeah.
We want to see more Black people on TV, especially commercial shows like your EastEnders and, well, Brookside is showing my age when you're saying Brookside. I'm like, going back.
Wow. Brookside. Yo, I've not heard that program in a while, you know. Wow. Certain people that are watching this probably like, what the hell is Brookside?
Yeah, exactly. What's Brookside, you know?
Wow.
We want to see, you know, more of our brothers and sisters on the show. So on those soaps. Yeah. So how do you find trying to get into those soaps? Is it difficult? Did you have an agent? Did you do it on your own?
Yeah, I had an agent. So that made it much more easier. Obviously, you know, every actor within this country would put themselves on the spotlight page, which is like, you know, the page for all actors to, you know, have their profile. It's almost like a Facebook for actors. So everybody would be there, but if you're signed, it will show who represents you, and they're able to just negotiate your contract through Spotlight, through your agent and things like that. So yeah, it is quite, I wouldn't say it's easy to get into it, because obviously you still got to do the audition, and that's, you know, that's the main thing. But to get an audition isn't as hard as people think for like big TV shows and films, actually. Yeah.
And do you find that through the journey, and even now, I mean, we know that a lot of people, especially with social media, they're trying to seek validation. They want that acceptance. And sometimes that validation can add a bit of peer pressure, and it can make people pick and choose and take on jobs that perhaps they otherwise wouldn't. Did you feel that you had that kind of pressure because you wanted to be successful in the arts, on television?
Yeah, I definitely did put that pressure on myself with both comedy and acting, but especially with comedy. Once I made the switch from the Black comedy circuit over to the mainstream, that was one of the major things I struggled with, mainly there, because with acting, you're just acting another character, so you're able to kind of like put yourself in another character's shoes, their mindset, their life, and things like that. But with with stand-up, because that's me, that's who I am on stage. When I moved over to the white circuit, I did, not the white circuit, but the mainstream circuit.
Yeah.
There's predominantly more white comedians. At the beginning, I thought, like, oh, let me try and talk like them in order to be received and stuff like that. And it's only until, like, I saw some of my other peers from the Black comedy circuit come over, and like people like Mo, you know, Eddie Caddy, and, you know, even Kojo, and I saw that they were just totally relaxed being themselves. That's where I started to go, okay, so I don't have to try and almost pander to, you know, a white mainstream crowd just to, you know, be accepted.
Yeah, of course, and that's so important. It's really something that we need to take on board and remember, is not to lose ourselves in the process when we're trying to, you know, reach certain heights. Most recently, a height that you have reached is Celebrity Gogglebox. Yeah. So that was amazing. That was awesome to see you on there. What was that experience like? That
was definitely the best gig I've had. That's the best gig I've had so far.
I like a rosé, but it has to be cold.
That's kiddies wine, man.
Nah, there's Moscato. You not had Moscato?
Nah, kiddies thing, man. You go for that sweet.
I like
See,
sweet
that's
stuff.
what I'm saying about you guys, man.
What do you mean? Who's you guys, bruv?
Yeah, people like you that like Moscato and all them rosé.
Nah, bruv.
Them
It's just a sweet wine, bro.
No, bro.
What wine do you have then?
Cab Sav.
See? What is that?
People, what my wine people know.
That's a dry wine, innit?
Nah, it's a red
dry wine you have to eat with cheese boards and that.
I don't eat cheese, man. But yeah, like if I'm cooking, like if I'm doing like a white wine sauce, I use like a Pinot Grigio. You know them ones. Yeah, come on, bro. Man knows my thing. Couple Pinot Grigio, couple Cab Savs. What, a Merlot and them kind of things just to slide in there? Come on.
They're the only words you know, innit?
That's the only one.
Sugar.
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 More sugar.
Deux. Un, deux, trois, sugar.
Yeah, because me and Mo are like real friends, you know. At the end of the day, we've been friends since like 2010, and so we go to like Arsenal games together and things like that. We've been doing that before any of like you know Mo's fame and stuff like that. So, and plus we're both signed to the same agency. We're both signed to the same management. So that's another like thing that kind of like we're always like drawn together like to do projects together. So yeah, doing that with Mo was amazing. But just being on Celebrity Gogglebox, because the funny thing is, my wife's cousin, you know, my wife and her cousin are always talking about how they wanted to go on Celebrity Gogglebox because they believe that hey, they've got the best kind of like banter and conversations. And I was just like, both of you ain't getting on that. Lo and behold, who's the guy that gets on it?
It's you.
So my wife was pissed. She was so upset. Like when I told her, I was just like, "Yo, I just got off the phone with my manager. I'm gonna be on Celebrity Gogglebox." She was fuming.
She wanted a seat at the table. She wanted to be there.
Yeah, man. But it was good. Man. I had a blast and yeah.
It's all just like really natural, isn't it? So you're just, I mean, what's the kind of guidelines? Is it sort of like, okay, we're going to film you for an hour or we're going to come down, you know, how does it kind of work?
No, they film us for like 4 hours. We watch like, just different clips. You don't watch like the whole thing, like let's say a movie. You don't watch like the whole hour and a half. You watch maybe like 30 minutes of it. And it's just chilled. You know, you've got your snacks, you got your little camera in the corner recording you.
So you literally just got this camera here, and I guess you forget about it really, that you can just be yourself.
Yeah. Half of the time, I didn't remember that the camera was there, and like there's like a boombox speaker where like the directors were speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? So it was just me and Mo in the room. Me and Mo in the room with like a table like in the kitchen, just full of snacks and stuff like that. It was that was because they, fans are still asking for us to go back. And
yes, I'm behind that definitely. We need you back on there.
Good. It was really good.
So I was going to ask you, what's been your favourite show or job that you've done so far? Has that been your favourite?
100%, 100%, hands down.
So we always hear this line that, you know, in business, whether it's show business or just business in general in life, it's all about who you know. How relevant has that been for you in your career path?
Yeah, up until recent, I only know that now. That connection, networking, that is the best thing for anyone's career to go from like here to here. You need to know the right people. Because before, my name was, floating around, in the BBC, Channel 4 here, and nothing ever happened. But once I, got signed to the managers that I'm with now, their contacts, the people that they know, they were the ones that were able to see what I've done, see my work, all the stuff I've recorded on my own, and say, hey, this guy is good. Let's put him here. We know where to put him. His personality suits this, that. And doors have just been like flying open. So yeah, it's all about who you know. All about who you know. Or if you're someone who knows how to network,
yes,
you have to know how to network. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you got any tips for us on that? On knowing how to network? Be
yourself. Be yourself. I always used to try and cater to the person with the big name. Oh, this person's a producer for, Lufa, on BBC. And I'm like, oh, yeah, trying to talk to them and stuff like that. And, you can just tell when someone's just like interested in talking to you or not. But just if you have just a little bit of a buzz about you, just a little bit, that is enough to open up a conversation or open up a dialogue. But just be yourself, and it doesn't have. The conversations never always have to be about work. You know, you can just talk, and that's what I found has allowed, you know, a way into, hey, take my number. You know, if you're ever doing something, just give me a call. And you know, from Gogglebox, I'm now working with one of the directors that was, you know, on the actual show, directing me and Mo. You know, me and him were talking about a whole different new project now. So
wow.
yeah, you know, so it just goes to show, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Doors will, like that. Being yourself is just enough. So doors will fly open.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel and press that notification bell.